Hello and welcome to Homes for Lambeth YouTube channel. My name is Claire and I am your yoga instructor today. Please enjoy today's class. As always, only do what feels good for you and just double check that your doctor is happy for you to practice yoga. Today, as always, I will try to give you as many modifications as I can. And so for now, come to find your way onto your mat, come into any comfortable seat position. Ground the palms down to the thighs. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Good, and let's settle in. So lengthen from your tailbone all the way up your spine, past your neck, and through into the skull, so that you get the idea of just how tall you can be through the spine. Eyes are closed if that is comfortable. Otherwise, of course, you can have them softly open. And just start to settle into your practice. Check in with how you're doing today. And if at any point you have a real urge to take a great big sigh out of the mouth, then please do so. It's a really nice way to let go of tension in the body and in the mind. So just focusing your attention onto the breath. Expanding your rib cage, front, back, and side. And really embrace and surrender to these first few moments of class that is just about you sitting still. So try not to feel frustrated by the stillness. Just enjoy the fact that we're rarely sitting still and breathing. It's just not something that we do. With awareness, I should say. Obviously, we're breathing every second of every day, but this opportunity to not be doing anything other than sitting still and tall and focusing on the breath. Take a couple more moments here. Just soften through the shoulders. And sometimes if you need to have a fidget through the shoulders, just to check that you are indeed softening, then please do so. Trying to let any tension or stresses from your day or your life leave your body every time you take an exhale. And then let's together take that deep breath in. Exhale out of the mouth. Softly open the eyes if they were closed and come to take a cross-legged position. So have right leg in front of left. And if you find it very difficult to sit upright, you might want to sit on some blankets. But otherwise, take a deep breath in and hinge forwards at the hips. And reach your arms in front of you. And just feel that release into the lower back and into the hips. So your cross-legged shape is such a nice shape to take. And you don't have to be reaching super far forwards. You might just be here. But hopefully no matter how deep you are in this pose or not, hopefully you're feeling some form of connection, some feel of some form of opening into the body. So settle in. If you like to sway, then you can do. If you prefer just to stay still and breathe, that of course is also an option. Trying to do what feels nice. Take a few more breaths and try to keep your focus very much on the breath. So you're still working with this even inhale, this even exhale. It's a slow and mindful breath, and try to keep that as the anchor that takes you through your journey today of your class. So it doesn't matter which direction the train goes, the breath is always with you. Good, let's rise up, move into the second side. So switch cross and lean forwards. And if you're not too sure if you need a blanket or not, my guidance would be that if you're very stuck and can only get to here, or maybe you feel like you're leaning back a little bit, that's where just elevating the hips a little bit helps. So that would be where you would take a blanket or a pillow, anything that you have to hand. And so diving into the second leg, again, find stillness or find movement. And sometimes when I'm feeling really stiff, it's the movement that helps me the most. So that I feel like I'm easing into the pose rather than just being stuck in it. So you take a couple more breaths, noticing perhaps the difference on each side. Maybe one hip is more open than the other, and that's okay. And then slowly release. Take a moment just to take the legs out, just so that you get the opportunity just to pedal through the knees if that kind of cross-legged shape aggravated the knees at all. And then come to sweep the legs round. And come to take extended child pose. Knees are a little apart so that you can sink your belly right in between that space. Take your arms really actively away. You can come up onto fingertips and then release forehead to the floor. And just feel that nice stretch through the spine. And sometimes the vertebra pops of its own accord. Mine just has. So as you start to lengthen, some of that tension, some of that feeling of being stuck, particularly in the mid-spine, starts to free. So reaching away, perhaps elbows are lifted from the floor. And take a few more breaths here. Breathing into the back body. And there's a real sense of letting go with forehead to the floor. Let's take one more deep inhale and exhale. And then walk your hands just off to the left and reach that right arm away, and maybe forehead lifts from the floor. That's okay. And so with the arms reaching to the left, you're going to feel this is a stretch down your right hand side, right in between the ribs. Take another inhale and exhale. And then walk the hands all the way to the other side, over to the right. Reach, reach, reach. And crown of the head drops. And so your arms are really active here. They're not flopping to the floor. There's a sense of elbows lifting from the floor, and you're literally reaching for the top corner of your mat. So it's a real active stretch as opposed to passive. Let's walk the hands back to center and move up onto all fours. And let's start to move in any way that feels nice for you. My guidance is to try and take circular patterns. So you could circle the hips right and left. You could roll the rib cage right and left.
At any point, you can swap direction. Maybe you find stillness and start to roll through the neck. So anything at all. And the more movement that you find, the more you're going to explore yourself, all those pockets into the body that feel nice, and the areas of the body that don't feel so nice. So it's your opportunity just for a moment to move around. You can even come up onto the knees and take hands behind you, maybe have a lift through the chest. So it's a bit of a moment in your class to be a little bit freestyle, move in a way that is freestyle. There's no right or wrong. And if you're stuck for ideas of how to move, of course, you can follow me and do all the little snake-like movements that I'm playing with here. And so if you have been practicing with me online, then by now you should be relatively comfortable with some of the main poses that we do in yoga. And so this is your time just to explore that confidence that you've gained now by being a little bit more playful and creative. So let's take one more inhale and exhale. And then from here, come onto all fours. So you found a little bit of movement now into the spine. That should have felt good. To take one leg back and the other. Have super soft knees and start to pedal out. One foot and then the other foot. Take your time. Shaking out the head. You can start to move the feet a little wider if you wish. Driving through each heel. And then take your feet hip distance apart and start to walk your hands all the way back to your feet and release into your forward fold. And you can have knees that are incredibly bent if you wish. Shake out the head. You can blubber through the lips, which is a crazy sound that is a really nice way of releasing through the face and through the jaw. You can nod the head, you can shake the head, you can rock a little forwards and back. And then bring the hands to the shins and take an inhale, lengthen your heart forwards. And then exhale, rebow over the legs and just make sure you drop chin to chest so that you're lengthening here through the neck. Let's take that again. Deep breath in, so my sit bones plug back. Deep breath out, let it go. Final time. Inhale, send the heart forwards. Exhale, release and fold. Put a great big bend into those knees again. Chin is tucked and slowly, nice and firm through the legs. Come to roll all the way to stand. Roll those shoulders back and come to make your way to the top of your mat. Adjusting your outfit if you need to. And then come to ground the feet completely together. Good. Standing nice and tall. Again, get that feeling of lengthening down through the tailbone, lifting up all the way through the spine, through the neck, through the crown of the head. You are as tall as you can be. Let's take 4 rounds of Surya A to warm up through the body. Here we go. Deep breath in, take the gaze and the arms to the sky. Deep breath out through soft knees, melt over your legs, hands to the floor or maybe just hands to the legs. Bring your hands to the shins as you inhale, send your heart forwards. And exhale, bend the knees, bring the hands to the floor and step one leg and then the other leg back to plank. If you're a beginner, then please just make sure your plank is to the knees. Otherwise, if you're with me, take an inhale. Then we all bring the knees to the floor. Graze the side of your arms past your rib cage. So elbows on out. They're tucking in like a locust. And take an inhale, lift. And take an exhale, peel your way back to downward facing dog. Feet hip distance apart. Have a little look at the hands. Hands are shoulder distance apart. Wrist crease parallel to the front of the mat. Spread through the fingers and then press strongly through your thumb and your first finger. That'll just help you protect the wrists. Once again, shake out the head when you get there. You're also, of course, welcome to bend the knees and then send the bottom a little higher. From here, bend the knees, look forward, start to walk. You can even take the hands off the mat if that's easier. Top of the mat, inhale, lengthen, heart forwards. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, press through the feet, lift up, rise up. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good, let's go again. 3 more times, a little quicker. Deep breath in, lift. Deep breath out, forward fold over your legs, let that head go. Hands to the shins, inhale, half lift. Good, exhale, take your time, step your feet back into plank or on the knees. Take a deep breath in, belly is lifted. Deep breath out, knees, chest, chin. Again, think elbows wrap in, heart forwards and down. Deep breath in, lengthen the legs back as the heart comes forwards. To push back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Bend the knees to look forward, step, walk top of the mat, straight up into that halfway lift. And then you fold over the legs. Bend the knees, inhale, sweep and rise up. Exhale, connect hands to the heart. 2 more rounds with that. Deep breath in, creating warmth into the body. And so your Surya A works front of the body and back of the body. Take that inhale, halfway lift. Take an exhale, step back to plank. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. The gentler version of coming down is to bring your hips forwards and then release the chest. Inhale into cobra. It can be small or it can be high. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Let it go. Should feel good to be moving in sync with breath, with body. And it should feel nice to connect to your body. Maybe you've gone through the day without being aware of your body at all, other than, of course, those base urges of food and water. But maybe you haven't noticed how tight or how open or how strong or how weak you feel today. So really diving into the body here. Bend the knees to look forward, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, release and fold, exhale. Press to stand, inhale. Hands to the heart, here's your final one. Deep breath in, lift. Deep breath out, fold. Hands to shins, deep breath in. Step into plank, deep breath out. Take a breath in here, breath out, hips, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look forward, step to the top of the mat, hands to shins. Inhale, exhale, release and fold. Inhale, press to rise. Exhale, hands connect to the heart. Good. Pause, standing strong in your Tadasana, mountain pose. And let's start to move on and bring in a little bit more of the legs. Here we go. Deep breath in, lift, rise. Deep breath out, forward fold. From here, step your right foot to the back of the mat and gently bring that right knee to the floor. Good. Rise up into your crescent. So you can bring in a pillow underneath your right knee if you need to. Otherwise, lift tall through the arms, through the side waist. Take a deep breath in. Bring your hands to the floor and pull back into that leg, lifting through the toes. So you should feel this is a hamstring stretch. If you need to, you could have hands to 2 piles of books if it's difficult for you to touch the floor. You could also bend the knee. Take 1 more inhale. Good. Push yourself back to the lunge. Pick your back knee up and transition downward facing dog. Good. Take an inhale and exhale. From here, bring the feet together at the back of the mat. Sweep the right leg to the sky. Inhale and step it through in between the hands. If it only comes halfway, pick it up and place it there. Good. Knee comes down. Rise up your back into crescent onto the second side. And so you can create a little bit of a back bend if you wish. Chest lifts. Good. And then from here, pull the hips back in space. You're now directly on top of that back knee. It's a little bit wobbly, so do what you can. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop the left arm. Take that side stretch. Good. Inhale, come to center. Nice and slowly does it. Exhale, right arm drops, and see how this leg wants to wobble. Try and keep the knee tracking forwards to support you. So you're getting a nice side stretch here. Good. Deep breath in. Good. Step forwards. Pick up that back foot. This time, step to the front of the mat. Release and let that go. Well done. Shake it out. Bend the knees. Inhale. Press to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Squeeze through that to the second side. Deep breath in, lift up, rise up, grow tall. Exhale, dive over your legs. It's the left leg that steps back. You bring the knee to the floor. You rise up into that high crescent. Good. Full breath here. Take an inhale. Hands to the floor. Pull your right hip crease back as you lift the toes to the floor. Hamstring stretch. Take another full breath in and out. To come back into your lunge, pick up the back knee, transition to your downward facing dog. Inhaling. Exhale again. Take this moment, shake out the head, make sure there's no tension into the neck. Good. Feet together. Inhale, left leg lifts. It's a real active leg. Try and point your toes. Doesn't have to be high. It can be really low. Step it through in between the hands and bring that knee to the floor. Here we go. Rise up into the low lunge. Take a moment with hips sinking forwards. And then feel the difference. Pull the hip back over the knee. A little bit more precarious again. And then drop the right hand and take the side body stretch. To rise up. Drop the left arm. And maybe you touch the floor, maybe you don't. Again, keep that knee focusing forwards. To release, hands to the floor. Pick up the back knee, take a deep breath in, look forwards. Exhale, let it go. Feet can meet or maybe feet are hip distance apart. Bend the knees, inhale, sweep and rise up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Well done. Take a moment to just turn palms up. Have a wiggle, settle the shoulders. You can just move a little bit through the legs. So sometimes when we're moving, we end up tensing. So just try and release any tension. And then let's start to play with some standing balances. We're going to take tree first. I'll demo from the front. Beginners, you might want to hold onto a wall for stability. So bring your right foot and either place it to the inner thigh. That would be the hardest version. Otherwise, place it to the inner calf. That would be the next level down. And then if balance is a little challenging for you today, instead bring the toe to the floor. Really doesn't matter. You're still wrapping that knee open. You're still standing up nice and tall. So have a feel, have a play. Maybe you play with the hardest version and then drop your foot. And so try to take
all of this with a smile, with a sense of playfulness. You know, we do wobble, we do fall out, and that doesn't matter. What matters is the attitude about how we come back in and give it another go. So let's take one more breath. You've been there for a while. It's still that right foot into the thigh. Take a deep inhale and then step that right foot back. It's a slow transition. Catch your lunge. When you feel stable, rise up. Good, deep breath in and a deep breath out. From here, bring the hands to the heart. So we did Warrior 3 last week. Hinge forward, start to transfer the weight into that front leg to slowly pick up your back leg. Flex your foot as opposed to point and lengthen forwards. Again, might be a little bit of a wobble. Take a smile, take a breath, and come and give it another go. So really push out through that back leg. And release. Well done. Shake it off. So you might feel the calf was firing up. You might feel the hamstring was firing up. Let's have a go second side. Again, hand to the wall and see what tree is like for you on side 2. Again, different side. One side might be very stable and the other side might not. One side, your hip might be more open, so you might have more accessibility to put the foot to thigh. If this is your tighter hip, it might be a little lower down. So keep breathing. That's the important thing. Full breaths in. Keep nice and calm and controlled and centered. That's the aim that we're practicing on our yoga mats. When the going gets tough, when life wants to push us off balance, that we are able to take a deep breath and come back to our calm inner center. From here, slow transition, left foot catches the lunge. Once you're there, deep breath in, get nice and tall. Let's move into Warrior 3, hands to the heart. Pitch your body forwards. Bring your back leg closer to lift up. Really flex that foot here. And maybe your Warrior 3 looks more at a 45-degree angle. That's okay. So keep squeezing your right hip into the midline of your mat. And then release, shake it off, let it go. Good, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Let's move some of that into a flow. Come back to the right side and bring your right sole of your foot back into tree pose. Yeah, so back here. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out, hands at the heart. Maybe if you're feeling really balanced, you can extend the arms out. Take a deep breath in, come to transition into that lunge. So you've been here before. Once you're landed, get heavy through the pelvis and then get light and long through the upper body. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let's take the arms behind us, interlace the hands and squeeze the shoulders back. If that doesn't feel nice for you, cup the elbows instead. Take a deep breath in and hover forwards. And so you might be here. So it's pretty hard work onto this left thigh. Do what you can. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Well done. Rise up, open out. Warrior 2, front heel to back arch alignment. So sink strongly into the thigh. Left knee tracks over that second toe. From here, straighten the front leg. Lift up through the left arm into reverse triangle. Feet ground into the earth here. To lengthen forwards, both legs are still straight. Bring your left hand just below the knee. Right arm lifts to the sky or hand to the waist, whatever feels best. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. You're going to feel it quite strongly into the inner front leg. If you need to bend the knee, that's okay. Good. Let's lift up, reconnect to Warrior 2. You bend into that leg. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot.
spiral the hips forwards, you're back into your lunge. Take a deep breath in, step forwards to finish that deep breath out. Again, shake it off. Let's move through that to the second side. Left leg, bring it into your version of tree. So inner calf, foot to floor, or foot to inner thigh. Deep breath in and out. One more inhale. Exhale, step your foot back into the lunge. When you're ready, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let's take that interlace once again. So interlace the hands, squeeze away, otherwise cup your elbows. So you get the lovely shoulder squeeze at the same time as bringing a little bit of heat now to your right thigh. Keep breathing, keep focusing on the breath, on being calm throughout all of this. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Well done. Let's release the arms. Inhale. Spin and flatten the back foot. Check front heel lines up with the back arch. And lunge and drop into warrior two. So arms reach away and you're trying to drop nice and deeply into that front thigh. So straighten the leg. Here we go. Bottom arm lifts, right arm, left arm drops, right arm lifts, reverse triangle. It's a big stretch down the front of your waist. Keep the legs as they are. Lengthen forwards. Pelvis eases back as right arm lengthens, lengthens, lengthens. And then right hand to the shin. Stack your left shoulder on top of your right and extend through the arms. Lower belly pulls in just to give you a little bit of support from your midsection. Good. Keep the breath coming. To lift up, connect back into your warrior two. Pivot onto the ball of your back foot. You might need to pop the back foot a little closer in if it's traveled or slipped back. Good. Rise up into that high lunge. Take an inhale. Feet meet at the top of your mat. Exhale. Again, take a full breath in. Full breath out. If you need to shake anything, you can. Come to find stillness. Come to find simplicity and control. And notice how much more aware you are, particularly of your lower body following those very leg intensive poses. And it should feel great now to have both feet plugging into the earth. You're coming into your sense, your own sense of stability and ground, and how important that is as a feeling. Let's start to flow, to make our way to downward facing dog, to make our way to the floor. So top of the mat, nice and easy. Inhale, arms lift, get nice and tall. If you wish to challenge your balance one more time, you could pick up through the heels. And then exhale through soft knees, heavy head, crown of the head reaches for the floor. From here, step your right leg back. Step your left leg back and come straight into downward facing dog. Give yourself 3 rounds of breath here, feeling how the spine lengthens in this shape. And if you feel like you're a little bit more here, then bend the knees, push into the hands even more and send your sit bones up to the sky just so you can get the weight backwards as opposed to it being over the shoulders. Yeah, so sometimes softening the knees will help you to find that feeling of pushing the weight backwards. Take another breath in and out. And then finally bring knees to the floor and take a child pose. Forehead to hands, let it go. So rounding through the spine. taking this moment to recover. To slowly lift. Well done. Come to transition onto your back. So come all the way down. And just take your knees so that they are bent. And lift your left leg up and keep it bent. And take your elbow to the inner knee. And then reach to the outside edge of that foot. It's happy baby pose or half happy baby pose. So I'm not holding the leg to the outer leg. I have the elbow to the inner knee. And then I just take my hand across the shin to hold for that foot. And just breathe here. If this isn't accessible, just hold the shin. It's still the same movement. It's still this feeling of opening through the hips, opening through the inner thigh. Take a couple of breaths. And really lengthen your spine here. Neck is nice and long, nice and easy. And then release that and have a go second side. So lift the leg up, elbow to inner knee, right hand to outer right foot. And so the knee is just slightly guiding off to the right. Full breath in and out. And then if you wish to feel full happy baby, then bring the left leg back into this. So both legs are lifted. My feet are flexed and pointing, facing the sky. And so called happy baby for a reason, right? I'm sure you'll have seen babies, they absolutely do this move where they reach and grab their feet. You know, their hips are so open and unfused at that age, and they just grab their feet with bent knees and sway from side to side. It's a really nice feeling. And release that. Just hug the knees into the chest. From here, bring the left foot to the floor and cross your right ankle across the front of that left thigh. Pick up the left foot. Hold the top foot with your left hand and tip the whole pose to the left. Right arm opens to the side. And this top knee, it might want to collapse in. Try and guide it away from your torso. So it's a part twist, part hip stretch. Hopefully this feels nice for you in the body. And just let the breath slow down. If you notice that it had begun to pick up as you were moving through the flows, just allow it to settle now. So hard work, standing poses and balances, all done. Now this is the delightful long hold stretches. You can close the eyes if that helps you to let go. And then very slowly just release the foot and help yourself back to the middle. Unwind, hug the knees in, and let's set yourself up second side. So right foot comes to the floor, left ankle crosses over the thigh. I pick up the right foot from the floor, left arm out to the left, right hand reaches on top of the foot, and the whole legs drop to the right just until that top foot touches the floor. And keep a hold of that foot, my friends. So you're holding this shape by keeping a grab onto that top foot. Once again, try to drive your knee away from you, and hopefully you feel this stretch all the way into your outer glute and thigh. Shoulders nice and soft and relaxed. Give yourself a shake if you need to. Just enjoy this stretch. Softening through the forehead. Trying not to crease around the eyes. So you're trying to stretch the tension out. To slowly come back to center, hug those knees in one final time, and then come to find your way into Shavasana. So extend those legs out, give them a little shake. Take the arms either side of your body with palm up. If this isn't comfortable for you, you're welcome to bend the knees and knock the knees together. Otherwise, if you're comfortable, you can grab a blanket or a jumper, anything at all to make this as restful as it can be. Close down your eyes. Let's take that deep breath in. Sigh it out. And come and take a good few breaths here in stillness, in silence, and in rest. So softening through the feet and the hands, softening the face and the neck. And get a sense of your body very heavy into the floor. Take a few more breaths. So you take a deep breath in, sigh out of the mouth, and start to find movement into your feet and into your hands, and take the arms way overhead. Slowly hug those knees into the chest, little rock from side to side, and then slowly roll to one side and gently push your way up to any comfortable position. So that could be kneeling, that could be cross-legged. Take a moment, roll the shoulders back, and then close down the eyes. Just find stillness for a moment longer before you rejoin whatever your day or your evening is. Noticing how you feel, noticing how worked and stretched the muscles feel. Good. Take a deep breath in. Again, that releasing exhale out of the mouth. Bring the hands together at the heart center in this gesture of gratitude, not to me, but purely to yourself for finding this time to step onto your mat and practice. So bowing your head to that. And thank you for joining me. Namaste. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed today. Just that reminder, if you want to find out a little bit more about what Homes for Lambeth are doing during this time, please go check out their website, which is homesforlambeth.co.uk. Otherwise, thank you once again for joining, and I look forward to seeing you in another class. Thank you.